Hello everyone and welcome. So in today's video we're getting a bit crafty and making our own miniatures. Now as you know or don't know, if you haven't seen my previous videos, my game is based on a time of Anne Boleyn. In particular her imprisonment in the Tower of London. Also, if anyone doesn't know who Anne Boleyn was, she was the Queen of England King Henry VIII executed for treason. I think she may have been the only queen to be executed at the bequest of a king, though don't quote me on that, as British history was rather brutal at times. Anyway, back to the miniatures. So in this video, I'll show you how I made these paper miniatures of Anne Boleyn and Thomas Cromwell. So I'm going to begin by making a really rough cardboard prototype to get an idea of where the folds will sit. I have an idea in my head of what I want these miniatures to look like, but I need to put it into practice to see if it will actually work. To begin, I'm going to grab my watercolour paper pad, as it is very thick and sturdy paper. Next, I'm going to measure 5 equal squares, as this is the amount I need to hopefully fold the miniature correctly. I have also left a small 1 cm lip at the top of the first square, as this will be the part that is glued during the folding process. Once the basics of the prototype are made, I will start labelling each square so I know where I need to fold when I'm assembling the miniature. I'd advise you not to skip this step, as I tried to fold it blind and got into a right mess. You don't necessarily have to use the exact labels I'm using, as I chose words that were most obvious to me to describe the orientation of the fold. So as you can see, square 1 is the base side. This is going to be facing the table, and square 2 will be the front of the miniature. Square 3 is the head of the miniature, which we can cut around to prop up. Square 4 will sit on top of square 1 when folded. This is why I've called it inside base. I'd recommend using a craft knife or scalpel to cut around the head, as you need to keep the outer space intact so you can fold it. Once you've cut around the head, pop it out and fold what is left of that square back. Continue folding the miniature until it is fully formed. When you're ready to glue it, run some glue along that little tab at the top and fix it to the back of the miniature. So there you have it, a fully formed prototype. And now we know this design works, we're ready to scan the drawing of Anne Boleyn and Thomas Cromwell into Procreate and start working on the digital version. I've actually invested in one of these Procreate keyboards, which you can see on the left, and I'm actually finding it very useful. At the moment, I don't use Procreate that often, and a big barrier I encountered was that I always used to forget where everything was. Then I'd get frustrated and not bother and just pick up a pencil. But with this keyboard, I find it's not only reducing my frustration, but also making it a lot easier to switch between brushes and selections. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting one, I'd highly recommend it. I was going back and forth on buying one for ages, and I wished I'd bought it sooner. So here, I'm removing the background from my drawing of Thomas Cromwell. I did this by making a selection in Procreate, and then selecting the eraser tool. I think I used Studio Pen as my eraser, if anyone is wondering. To start, I made the Studio Pen as big as it could be, with the opacity set to maximum 2. I then used broad strokes to cover as much of the area as possible. I was able to do this as the drawing of Cromwell was essentially masked off, so it didn't matter if I went over it. Once I erased most of the background, I zoomed right into the drawing so I could erase more fiddly areas. Zooming in gives you more control over what you are doing. It is especially helpful if you are editing a scanned-in drawing like this one, as there are always little edges and outlines sticking out because it is drawn with pencil and pen. I actually really enjoy removing the last bits of this drawing, as I find it very therapeutic. When I've almost removed all the background, I turn off the white background colour. This makes everything transparent. I then look for any remaining areas I've missed and remove those too. When I'm done, I merge all the layers together and export the file as a PNG. Because I also want to make a miniature of Anne Boleyn, I want both her and Thomas Cromwell to fit on the same page. Mainly so I can save paper when I print these out. Also, the size of the document I'm using is A4, and luckily this is already a preset size in Procreate, so googling dimensions isn't necessary. Here, I'm also playing around with how big I want the character art to be, so I'm scaling both images up and down until I'm satisfied with how they look. We're on to the final stage of mocking up our design. We sorted out our images, and all we need to do is recreate the template. So, if you go to the spanner or wrench icon and then select Canvas, you'll be presented with a few options. One of them is Drawing Guide. If you toggle Drawing Guide on, a squared display appears. I found this quite a lot easier to use than having to draw everything out by hand, as it's all laid out, and for me, much more easier to count. The brush I used to create the guide, I think was a technical pen. I added another layer before I made the grid to act as a scaffold for the final design, which I deleted when I was finished. On the layer above, I adjusted the opacity so that the pen wouldn't be a strong black outline, but more a mid-translucent grey. I didn't want the outline immediately obvious when I printed everything out. Next, I'm touching up the edges of the grid and erasing any areas where the strokes are too long. In hindsight, I probably didn't need to do this. They'll just get chopped off when I cut out the miniature. The eagle-eyed among you may notice I positioned Anne Boleyn and Thomas Cromwell a square too high on a template. And yes, I did print this out before noticing and wondered why it wasn't folding correctly. So when we cut to the final printouts, just right now, you'll see they are both in the right position with the neck and shoulders on the second square. Here, I'm folding the printouts into their finished design. As this is just plain printer paper, they are of course a lot thinner. However, they are a lot sturdier than I thought they would be. I'd like to do some more research on how different thicknesses of paper respond, as I want to use a proper printer to produce a better quality finish. So, there we have it. I hope you found this miniature video helpful and inspired to create your own. Also, if you don't have Procreate, you can just stick to old-fashioned paper and pencil. I just suggest looking for some thicker paper or card rather than using printer paper. That's all for today, folks, and I'll see you in the next one.